In today's episode of As the Political World Turns, we delve into the latest episode of that never-ending soap opera starring none other than Donald J. Trump, the man who seems to have mistaken the Oval Office for a reality TV studio. This time we're tackling President Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, a term that, much like his policies, sounds grandiose, yet lacks the substance one might expect. But hey, that's showbiz. At the center of this political drama is Brett Guthrie, the Republican chairman of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, who is accusing those pesky Democrats of weaving a web of deceit around Trump's legislative masterpiece. According to Guthrie, Democrats have been engaged in a fear campaign designed to spook Americans, akin to a Halloween haunted house, but with more paperwork and fewer candy rewards. Guthrie claims that Democrats are spreading incorrect reports about the bill, which is as shocking as discovering that water is wet. He reassures us that this legislative behemoth is all about refocusing Medicaid on mothers, children, people with disabilities, and the elderly. You know, the kind of folks who are so rarely considered in political debates. Of course, illegal immigrants and capable adults who choose not to work are explicitly excluded from this utopian vision. In a move that can only be described as a plot twist from a bad sitcom, the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, chimed in with its own analysis, suggesting that the bill could save even more than the touted $880 billion. Naturally, this is music to the ears of conservatives who seem to believe that cutting health care is the fiscal equivalent of finding loose change in the couch cushions. Now Democrats, ever the drama queens, seized upon this bill as the ultimate evidence of Republican villainy. They argue that the legislation is a thinly veiled attempt to slash Medicaid, leaving millions of Americans without health insurance. But fear not, for Guthrie assures us that Republicans have steered away from the more draconian cuts that some conservatives were itching to make. It's like watching a magician pull a rabbit out of a hat, only to reveal it's a stuffed toy instead. The bill proposes an 80-hour-per-month work requirement for certain able-bodied adults receiving Medicaid, because obviously the best way to help people in need is to make them jump through more hoops than a circus poodle. Additionally, states that dare to provide Medicaid coverage to illegal immigrants could see their federal Medicaid reimbursement dollars dwindle faster than Trump's approval ratings. As if that weren't enough excitement, the bill also demands that states perform eligibility checks every 6 months to ensure no one's sneaking a freebie. State Medicaid plans will be affected by a moratorium on new state provider taxes, freezing current rates where they are. Who knew healthcare policy could be so thrilling? In a subplot worthy of a CW drama, New Jersey Rep. Frank Pallone, the top Democrat on the committee, released a CBO projection indicating that a staggering 13.7 million people would lose health insurance under the Republicans' Medicaid proposals. Pallone accuses the GOP of releasing the bill under cover of night, as if it were a secret government experiment in a dystopian novel. Pallone's rhetoric is as fiery as a 4th of July fireworks display, declaring that the GOP's bill is not just trimming fat, but cutting to the bone. According to him, this legislation is less about eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse, and more about stripping healthcare from millions to fund tax breaks for billionaires. But hey, who needs healthcare when you can have trickle-down economics? Guthrie, ever the voice of reason in this political circus, dismisses the Democrats' calculations as artificially high and accuses them of fear-mongering for political gain. He insists that this reconciliation is a win for Americans everywhere, as long as you ignore the fine print. As Republicans prepare to advance the energy and commerce portion of the bill, we're left with a tantalizing question. Will Speaker Mike Johnson be able to pass this legislative masterpiece through the House by Memorial Day? Or will it crash and burn like so many other Trump initiatives? Before we wrap up this episode of Political Theater, let's take a moment for some shameless self-promotion. If you're enjoying this satirical dive into the absurdity of current events, why not hit that subscribe button? Like and comment to let us know your thoughts. Do you think this bill is a win for America, or just another chapter in the book of political blunders? We can't wait to hear your take on this high-stakes drama. So, dear viewers, as the curtain falls on yet another act in the grand political play, we leave you with one final question. In a world where the absurd is the norm, how do we find our way back to reality? Share your thoughts in the comments below.